So in this video we will tackle a problem that unless we are connected to the internet, this IP that you see here is like when you are like on QEMU, after it automatically connects via system D, network D, okay? We do not, like in this case, like the problem is that everything is fine if there is network, but if there is no network, then we don't even start the OTA state machine. And when we have like an API update that has nothing to do in the states that have nothing to do like with a network, then we will not have the update because we're waiting for a network. So we will start looking on how to modify some flow or how to modify some things by actually looking exactly at this particular one. Okay, so this is a good example of like doing something meaningful like at a RAM disk, and let's go ahead and look at that. So I'm going to wait for a removable media, do the installer. Why am I going to do that? Installer only, because the OTA tarball comes as a tarball. That's how I made it, so that it will be external like to the main project. And the flashing should be quite fast because it's x86 here, and because I did not include like browsers, I didn't include Western like in the graphics, but because of the command line that I put here, we're going to spawn like a shell. Okay, so essentially this is like the we did it like in overlays and not overlay and not writable overlays at the OTA target file, which means they will be extracted over mount system. You can see it in the code. To make this video shorter, I will just do it like this without showing the code, but you can just grab everything. So let's see what the overlay install instruction say. So the main reason in the first place that we even had a problem again in the first place was that when I did like the porting from training materials to the public repository, I left an exercise, and the exercise was actually it only had like this if, that only if like we're the FS materials app, or if it's writable overlay, we will extract, and the students had like to fix it, or maybe they still do. Maybe you're taking the course when the embedded Linux course, after one of them at least, after this video has been uploaded already. So we're stopping in the middle, okay? We extract tarballs and blah 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 blah. The command line itself, it's very specific. In the RAM disk code, you can see that if there is like stop at RAM disk equals pre blah 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 blah, then there is like a very specific there is this very specific line that actually says this. All right, so like if we go to the flasher cd, we will see this line, okay, like pre-tarball instruction file, and debug stop at RAM disk checkpoint. If you want to add like your own checkpoint, you give a name and then you give it like in the command line, and they like stop at RAM disk. It's very straightforward. Now this is pretty much the equivalent of like if you have like dracat, the RD that break mechanism, or like in update initramfs, you will have like break equals like something. So I made like my own terminology to be very clear about it, and since I take care of like OTA, flashing, and a lot of things, then I gave very specific name. The intention of this project is to be extremely clear and helpful and educational, but yes, it has been used multiple times, and it's actually been running, wow, quite a lot of years at some real products. So yeah, I mean, it's not a toy project, and it wasn't supposed to not be a toy project, but okay, or it was supposed to be educational. So we're here, we're happy, everything is great. So we have like this overlay install instructions, and if like we modify it and then like return to the execution, then it will install it. So I want to disable the network, so I will cheat here, okay? I do want to keep like the over the DR update. And here, like just for fun, I'll also do, I'm in the terminal, so, yeah, but let's do it like this again. Dev console, so that would happen. Hacking stuff. Remember, I'm inside the RAM disk, right? Whoops. And here, what I'm going to do is chroot. The VI in BusyBox is less sophisticated. Disable systemd network D, and then it should not like connect automatically. If it fails, blah blah blah. Remember, it's inside the RAM disk, so we should not care. And it's already been extracted, right? So if like I look here at like opt, I will see like the OTA stuff, okay? Also see the bootstrap, the caches, like if you follow the build system carefully, you'll see it. So we're good. Now I just want, just in case, to have like a clear error code like for my shell, and then I will resume execution. Let's just see, I saved it, and seems like I did something bad. Yeah, I should have just exited. Let's see what I did bad. Yeah, of course, this was my mistake. Okay, but now that we know what I did, I can do it like in 1 second again. So it's not so bad. So it's also like a demonstration. Let's see if we're still mounted here. We are. So I can copy paste the last line, restart it. And it will be with the exact same kernel parameters. So it will now start with flash. It's actually a very good example. And it will stop in the same place, okay? We go to mount system. And if we edit the file, there's no history. Power of habit. Then we don't have this line, but I copy pasted it. So we're all good. And that's what I'm going to do. No FE, no nothing. I'll just exit. I can do Control D here, and now everything will be fine. So now I will remove. I did not put camera because I don't like to. But I'm doing like quotes. I will remove the disk and the like OTA, and then I'll just run like QEMU. So we have here like the graphical target, which is nice. We do not have network, wait for network stuff. And if we look like at the IP, voila, no IP. Okay. If we look at system control status OTA, then network is not up yet, network is not up yet, which is exactly what I wanted to do. Okay. So, this is good, right? So what is the problem here? No problem. Okay, we're all good, we're all happy, and no real problem here. So I do want to make, so this explains how to actually stop like a RAM disk and do some modifications, like if you want like to debug that, for example, reproduce like the situation instead of like rebuilding, or even though, or just building or serving the tarball, which is actually quite simple. So this is what I wanted to focus on. Okay, and the reason for these things, if we go like to opt OTA, we don't need to be very smart if we actually bother to read. So we can go, let's say we don't know anything, and of course I know I wrote everything. Let's grab. So if we go to OTA reach off devs, we can see that we have like this loop, check network interface, blah 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 blah, for development. You see, for development. Or in Debian, so we can do this grep, and then there is like the OTA state machine. So the OTA state machine it's in the check update manifest. Okay. So this is like the check for updates, do check for updates, and this is like the do it all. So before we even start, we do the do check for updates and then like all these kind of things. So a potential solution could be just start like the OTA state machine, but concentrate only on specific states, like okay, only for not like at idle or downloading or something like that. Or we can do check for updates. It will, I mean, the thing here is that it will do like this loop, right? The file that we saw before. So we have like this, we have like, while there is not route, we just loop and sleep. So essentially, this is the kind of things that like we want to go ahead, and I can choose whatever heuristic to run it, and let's just be brute force right now, and without even knowing what the OTA state machine is, we can go ahead and start it. Okay, but this is not the topic of the video. Let's just look at the mounts, or the things that we are supposed to mount like early during like the process. Now, this is the do it all, like the main thing, but let's go to the main function. Okay. In the main function, we initialize like the directories. Okay, we put like the script directories, we source this, which is important, and we go like to the main loop. So let's now do journal control -u OTA -f in the background. Okay, system control restart OTA, and we see like the software updater is starting, blah 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 blah. Okay, so if we now go and look at like the banner, we don't see anything here. Okay, so we see like this echo here. Okay, and we don't see like the rest of the thing. Let's explore again like the log. Software update starting, network is not up yet, like almost immediately. So we don't even get to the banner. So just adding like this brute force would not be like the smartest thing. So, I mean, if we don't know anything, if we are not experienced with it, we can just go ahead and like start playing with it, which is pretty nice. I mean, it's pretty good, essentially. All right. So this covers it, and the next video we'll go through a little bit more debugging to help you like get more into like the mechanism, but the code is like quite clear.